When you hear the word psychology, you probably picture a velvet couch, someone taking notes on a clipboard, and a patient venting about their childhood. But think about what happens when you walk into a room, stop dead in your tracks, and completely forget why you went in there. Or why you feel a sudden, undeniable urge to buy a blender you don't need, mind and human behavior. This presents a unique problem. In chemistry or physics, you can weigh and measure physical matter. So how do you scientifically study a thought you can't even see? Psychology operates as an active, ongoing investigation into the hidden machinery behind why humans do everything they do. Humans have been obsessing over this exact problem for thousands of years. In ancient Greece, early philosophers like Aristotle attempted to explain the source of human emotions and memory. Plato built on those ideas, forming the early foundation for how we reflect on our own minds. They had brilliant opinions, but they had no measurable data to back them up. Without experiments and hard numbers, the field didn't have its driver's license to be considered a real science yet. That finally shifted in 1879, when a German researcher named Wilhelm Wundt decided to actually test the human mind. By refusing to just theorize and deciding to actually test the mind, Wundt successfully moved psychology out of the philosophy basement and set the stage for modern science. Wundt traded the philosopher's toga for a scientist's lab coat by opening the world's very first psychology laboratory, shown here. He developed introspection to break down a single thought into basic parts, just as a biologist dissects a plant. If you were his test subject, he might hand you a piece of chocolate and ask you to systematically record every exact sensation, feeling, and physical reaction it caused. Once he proved that the mind could be studied in a lab, the field exploded, growing into several different schools of thought. The behaviorists focused exclusively on measurable actions, while the psychoanalysts focused on the unconscious and dreams. By the 1950s, a new branch called the cognitive revolution began treating the human brain like a super powerful computer, processing information through complex internal circuits. The field continuously evolves, constantly updating its complex methods to map the human mind as new technologies emerge. The ancient philosopher Wundt, in his 1879 lab, and today's cognitive scientists are all part of one unified quest to understand humanity. Instead of mixing physical liquids in a beaker, modern psychologists measure the hidden factors of our thoughts, emotions, and social influences. They use this research to design the intuitive interfaces on our smartphones. They rely on it to develop highly effective medical therapies and improve mental health treatments worldwide. And it explains why we find it so difficult to break a bad habit, or why we make specific financial choices. Psychology is the beautiful, rigorous scientific study of us. Simply understanding how the mind works means you are already using psychology. Perhaps you are even using it right now to convince a friend to buy you a cup of coffee.